In September, the month of September 2017, my relationship was dead. The marriage was dead, okay? It was dead. He even said in his video a while back, like when we first left, he said he was unhappy with me. And he was unhappy with me. For whatever reason, you know, I don't know. He was unhappy with me. So, therefore, he wasn't trying no more. He wasn't trying. And I didn't deserve it. You know, he didn't deserve to be unhappy. Neither did I. When I first started talking to Clarence, it wasn't even on that kind of tip. We didn't talk about nothing sexual. We just, like, really talked about what we like to do and stuff like that. And, you know, first it started off as, like, just talking about, like, business and stuff. But then we just, like, start having conversations. It was just really kicking it. And this is what it ended up. So for everybody that's getting a perception of me that, like, I'm just this sneaky little woman, that's really what happened. And, you know, some of y'all might understand, some of y'all might not. But I really don't care what y'all think or what y'all don't think. But I'm just here to state facts. I want you to put yourself in my shoes. It might not have been, you know, right, because two wrongs don't...
Hey guys, I had a viewer leave a comment on my other video, and they had informed me that Queen had allegedly had cheated on Chris as well. And so I looked into it and I saw the videos that talked about it. I see that, you know, her ex-husband on Chris Sales on IG, that he talked about that she cheated with some guy that was in Detroit that happened to be a dope dealer, which had gotten her mom's SUV shot up because, you know, allegedly, according to Queen, that her mom's SUV had looked similar to or looked like the SUV that the dope dealer was driving, whom she was seeing at the time, you know, so, which is, you know, quite interesting. Okay, so let's get into it. So, now, the only aspect that I can see of why Queen would have cheated on Chris would be Moon square Venus, okay? Whereas her Venus is in Scorpio at, I think, 9 degrees. And her Moon is in Leo, 4 degrees. Those are two fixed signs, and they're both in early degrees. They're both in the first decan of the zodiac. And the first decan of a zodiac sign is 1 degrees through 10 degrees, okay? So let's see what is said here on Cafe Astrology dealing with her birth chart with that particular aspect. It says, because you value harmony, you may find yourself giving in to others too easily, especially in the first half of life. Resentment is possible as you can feel that you are the one who seems to do all the acquiescing. There can be a distinct tendency to become friends and lovers with people too readily, simply because there is a strong need for approval and a hunger for receiving affection. As such, you may be involved with people who seem to really like you, and you fail to consider whether you actually like them back. It's somewhat of a weakness, as you are very charmed by the idea that someone seems to really like and appreciate you. Generally, one of your life's lessons is to learn to discriminate more and to get in touch with what you truly want and need. The functions of the Moon, which rules the emotions and feelings, amongst other things, and the functions of Venus, which rules social relationships, harmony, and partnership, amongst other things, are at cross purposes. When you attempt to feed the needs of one function, it is often at the expense of the other until you find some sort of balance. This can play out in a variety of ways. For example, there can be conflicts in partnerships about parenting or whether or not to have a family. You may find yourself compromising your own emotional needs in order to find and keep love. Peace and harmony are important to you, perhaps too much so, as you can easily be taken advantage of. Insecurity is something that you need to deal with at some point in your life. Very sensual. You sometimes replace love with food or shopping. You can also be quite sexually active and sometimes quite lustful. You possess a distinct lazy streak. You are capable of working hard, but you truly appreciate luxuriating and enjoying as many pleasures as possible, and self-discipline simply isn't always at your disposal. So, based off of that she can be a sexual person, she could be a sensual person, she can get caught up in a rapture with a person based on the fact that they may say, oh, you know, you're so gorgeous, you're very beautiful, and that may pull her in to the person's charms more easily than another person, because she has this Venus square moon aspect in her birth chart, that she could easily be charmed by a person for them doing things for her, like buying her gifts, things like that, like with Clarence NYC, like what he did when he bought her gifts for her birthday, and she really appreciated them, which she should, you know, but you know that it really takes like an impact on how she feels and about herself when other people likes her and want to be with her, okay? And because Venus, as they had stated earlier, it deals with relationships, and the moon deals with your feelings. So that's probably the reason why Queen, if she did cheat on Chris, then that might have been the reason why, because there was an emotional factor there, you know, and she might have felt a deep-seated insecurity within herself because of how Chris made her feel, because of his constant infidelities, of him, you know, dealing with girls, going and seeing girls at college or, you know, at the club, and her talking about him texting girls on Facebook and stuff like that. So by her having this aspect, though, it might have amplified those feelings of insecurity within herself. Then, based off of that, you know, by her having a Venus in Scorpio, she might have wanted to have revenge also on her husband because of that, you know. And that might have been the catalyst as well, and why she would have cheated if she did cheat on Chris with the guy in Detroit, which people are saying and claiming is a dope dealer. And I think she even had mentioned the guy in her video where she talked about that she did not cheat on Chris, and said that the guy was a dope dealer and she wasn't, you know, trying to be serious with him. And when she did go over there to see him, her mom's SUV got shot up because her mom's SUV looks a lot like the dope dealer's, you know, SUV. So I hope that explains things. And I will leave the link to Cafe Astrology's website, so you can type in her birthday information so you can see what I'm talking about for yourself. And I also will leave my email address if you would like for me to talk about your birth chart and your astrological aspects, and if you would like for me to do any work for you and to explain some things for you. And I will also leave a link to my website below.